Hey guys, welcome back to my channel where I'll be discussing the Frauen-Bundesliga regular season match between VfL Wolfsburg and Hamburger SV. You can also listen to this match review on Spotify, link in the description below. Likewise, if you're listening to this on Spotify, you can also watch this game review on YouTube. Link will be in the description. Alright, so Hamburger, one of the newest teams to the Frauen-Bundesliga First Division, is set to face Wolfsburg, the She-Wolves, the Green Fur Balls. It's likely going to be a challenging game for Hamburger, but also for Wolfsburg because I haven't been all that impressed with Wolfsburg in their preseason Testspiels and in their recent loss to Bayern Munich in the Super Cup. From what I gathered, Wolfsburg has a problem in the box. They have a problem connecting and scoring goals. The thing is, they get a lot of possession, but they're just not connecting and putting away their chances when they need to. In the NWSL over in America, commentators have a saying, possession doesn't win games. I mean, defending wins games, scoring goals obviously wins games, but possession and control, you can have a lot of that in a game, but in the rare chance the opposing team gets the ball, runs away with it, and scores, well, now you're down and fighting to get back in. That's Wolfsburg, to put it simply. Wolfsburg needs to score goals. They need to figure out how to connect with one another in the attacking third and put away their chances. That's what it will come down to. Anyway, that being said, let's get into the lineup for this match. All right, so the lineup. And I'm a bit stuffed up because I just woke up not too long ago. Alright, so we have Stino Johannes in the goal. For defenders, Caitlin Dijkstra, Janina Minga, Janu Levels, and Joelle Wiedemeyer. In the midfield and attack, Ella Pettimore, Svenja Huth, Cora Zakai, Vivian Endemann, Lynette Berenstein, and Alex Popp. It's fine. The lineup is fine. I'm just hoping we'll see better connection and finishing from the attack. That's probably my biggest concern. Zakai will be interesting to see. I don't think she started in any of Wolfsburg's preseason games, mainly because she was away with the national team, but maybe she'll surprise us here. I mean, hopefully she does, because Wolfsburg, yeah, they need to connect in the attack, but most importantly, put away their chances. I think if I can make one change to this lineup, it would be to start Schieland. Hamburger is a new team to the Frauen-Bundesliga First Division, and I'm not entirely sure how they will play in this game. Will they be an aggressive team? Will they fight back against Wolfsburg? Will they try to fight for control and possession? Will they try to dominate the game? This is a match where I would want a player like Schieland in the midfield to maintain control and stability just in case Hamburger does come out as an aggressive team. Anyway, that all being said, let's get into the first half. All right, so the first half, we are off. Hamburger in a 4-2-3-1, Wolfsburger in a 3-3-2-2. That's a bit different, but okay. Yeah, say a prayer and hope for the best. So the 10-minute mark, seeing some back and forth in these early 10 minutes, there is some pressure from Hamburg, and by some, I mean a lot. Hamburg seems especially dangerous when they counter. That is something Wolfsburg has to watch out for. Hamburg isn't really intimidated by Wolfsburg at all. I'm kind of just noticing that. They're challenging them and fighting for control and possession. When it comes to Wolfsburg, they're getting forward. They created a couple of chances in these early 10 minutes, but nothing substantial. Huth had a chance in the 9th after picking up a loose ball from Berenstein, but her chance went wide. Wolfsburg, yeah, they have to do better than that. So 20-minute mark, pretty poor from Wolfsburg so far. And the thing is, it's only been 20 minutes, but it's clear Hamburg is the better team. They haven't scored yet, but if I had to say which side is closer to scoring first, just based on how they're playing, it would probably be Hamburg. They're getting into Wolfsburg's box, they had a couple set pieces, and they're putting pressure on Wolfsburg's back line. They're still looking dangerous on counters, but Dijkstra has been solid shutting that down, so that's a plus. As for Wolfsburg's attack, there was this moment 14-minute good run by Zakai. I like that pass up to Levels. Levels honestly isn't doing too bad. Zakai cross, pop in Berenstein, can't do much with it. Sent in again, Berenstein can't do much with it. Yeah, not taking advantage of those chances. Then 18 minutes, Zakai cross to Berenstein, nothing from it, not set up properly, or Berenstein not exactly in the right place. But yeah, Zakai is pretty active. I kind of like her so far in this game. But yeah, that connection in the attack, that needs work. All right, so 30-minute mark, all of a sudden, much better from Wolfsburg. But at the same time, defending is utter crap. Here's what went down. So the 26-minute Pettimore's through ball, Berenstein scores, Wolfsburg 0-1. And that right there is proof. It's proof that through balls are your friends with benefits. Because for whatever reason, all the teams I cover, with the exception of Lyon, don't like to do through balls. So the 27th minute, Hamburg mistake, pass back to the keeper. Keeper goes to kick it away. Berenstein jumps on it. The keeper ends out taking out Berenstein in the box. So foul and penalty. 28 minutes, Minga steps up to take the penalty and scores. Wolfsburg 1-2. 31 minutes, Hamburg cross headed away. Hamburg attempt from D. Johannes saves initially, but no one was there to defend it away, so Hamburg scores. Hamburg 1-2. Yeah, poor defending, zero awareness at all. So the 45-minute mark, it's a little better from Wolfsburg. Possession and control has been in their favor somewhat, but they still have to watch out for Hamburg's counterpress. There's more and better connection in the Wolfsburg attack. They're creating more chances and more attempts on goal, but what Wolfsburg needs to do is utilize their pace. Utilize their pace, intensity, and urgency. There was a burst of speed or energy in the 37th minute from Wiedemeyer, who caught Hamburg off guard on the wing, but we need to see more of that. They slowed down way too much in the attacking third. Wolfsburg, they just need to maintain their pace and momentum. Again, probably the best performing player for Wolfsburg in this half has to be Zakai and maybe Levels. Zakai created more chances, but when it comes to Wolfsburg as a whole, there needs to be more pace, more control, and more chances being created. There would be an additional 1 minute of added time. The half would end in the 46th minute with Wolfsburg up 1-2. All right, so Wolfsburg are up 1-2. If I'm being honest and maybe a bit too harsh, like I know this is their season opener, I'm just not all that impressed with Wolfsburg. And maybe it's because I've watched Wolfsburg's preseason games, so I kind of know what to expect, unfortunately. But yeah, I just wasn't happy with this. It did get better as the half went on. Wolfsburg had more possession and control, but once again, they're not connecting in the box as consistently as they need to. This just looks like Wolfsburg in their preseason. They can compete. They can completely dominate teams that aren't going to fight back, but a team that's actively and aggressively challenging them, like Hamburg, is where they're crumbling under pressure. The DAZN announcer said Hamburg was the better team in the first half, despite Wolfsburg being up 1-2, and I kind of agree. I also kind of like that announcer. I wouldn't be surprised if Hamburg goes on to score again in the second half, given their pressure and counterattack. For the second half, Wolfsburg should bring on Schielen for more control in the midfield. She can also get forward with the attack as well. Maybe Busi would be good to bring on too. I think given how threatening Hamburg can be, Wolfsburg should return to a 4-3-3 or maybe even a 4-2-3-1. Someone told me Lerch's strategies and tactics can be a bit out there, and I was like, how out there can they be? But anyway, Wolfsburg needs to score more. That being said, let's get into the second half. All right, so the second half, we are off. The 55-minute mark. So these first 10 minutes of the second half are going well for Wolfsburg. Good control, good possession, and better chances being created. I'm really enjoying Zakai's performance in this half. She seems more active. Wolfsburg was able to restore their 2-goal lead in the 51st. In the 51st, Levels steals the ball off a defender. Levels cross, pop header, bounces into the goal, scores, Wolfsburg 1-3. And then, like I said earlier, Great connection between Zakai and Levels. Really good movement from Zakai. I feel like Lerch may have encouraged her to get going in this half because, yeah, she just seems more active. All right, so the 65th minute mark. Things have settled more since Wolfsburg restored their lead. They're still on the attack, but there's more or less a focus on game management. They still need to be careful because Hamburg aren't done yet. They're still not done. They're still trying to get forward and challenge Wolfsburg. This is where Wolfsburg really needs to keep control. In the 61st, Zakai had a chance to score off Hoot's cross, but the keeper would block it. Once again, she's doing well. It would be cool to see her score in this match, though. There were some Wolfsburg subs in the 65th. Endemann and Berenstein out, Busi and Villato in. So the 75th minute mark, yeah, much better from Wolfsburg. This is what I like to see, Wolfsburg in control and creating chances. I'm still enjoying Zakai and Levels' partnership. We saw a lot of that in these 10 minutes. Defending is pretty good recoveries from Dijkstra. But yeah, this is going Wolfsburg's way now. They just need to hold on. All right, so the 85th minute mark, things are going well until Wolfsburg decided, let's do things the hard way. In the 80th minute, Hamburg played an overlapping pass, and Wolfsburg's defenders couldn't get on it. Hamburg would score, making it 2-3. Like, Wolfsburg, are you serious? Be for fucking real. All you had to do was control and manage this game, and you can't even do that. In the 76th, there were some Wolfsburg subs, Schielen and Bielda in for Pettemors and Wiedemeyer. But honestly, I'm just stuck on Wolfsburg potentially blowing their lead. All right, so the 90-minute mark, things are getting tense. Zakai is out and Pujols is in. Hamburg is on the attack and Wolfsburg is struggling to regain control. They're defending with their lives, basically. There was an additional 6 minutes of added time, and here's how that went. The 95th minute, Hamburg throwing kicked away. Announcer yelled handball, and I missed it initially. On the replay, it did look like Dijkstra kicked the ball into our own hand, but the ref didn't catch it. So, yeah, I guess Wolfsburg was pretty lucky there. 96 minutes, Wolfsburg handball outside, though. This results in a Hamburg free kick. So Hamburg free kick, sent in, bounces, Johannes saves, but they're saying it went over the line, which is complete bullshit. They're giving it as a goal for Hamburg, so Hamburg 3-3. And honestly, I'm calling bullshit. It did not go over. Johannes caught that right at the edge. Anyway, whistle blown, second half ends. Wolfsburg draws 3-3. All right, so Wolfsburg draws 3-3. That's where we're at. Honestly, I don't know who to be pissed at. Obviously, it's Wolfsburg. You had two goal leads on two separate occasions, and you couldn't maintain that either time. You can't control the match when you needed to. Control and possession doesn't win games, but for fuck's sake, you needed to do that in this game right at the end. It should have never gotten to this point. Anyways, Zakai and Levels, like I said, for this whole game, they look great together, they connect well. Yeah, it got better for Wolfsburg in the second half, but then they fell off disastrously. They should have won this. For an opening game and opening performance from Wolfsburg, this was disappointing and frustrating. But honestly, should you really be surprised, especially given how they performed in the preseason? I do hope it gets better. Usually the first couple games are a bit weird. The team still needs time to adjust. And I'm hoping this is the case here. I'm hoping this was just a weird fluke and Wolfsburg will get it together in their next couple games. But yeah, I really, really hope it gets better. It should, but yeah, there's just so much they have to work on. Anyway, that is all I have for you guys today or tonight, and I'll see you all in the next one. Later.